Hey guys, and welcome back to another Starbase video. I am a game advisor, and today we'll be talking about some more tips that can help you in Starbase. Now these tips are geared towards beginners, intermediate, and expert players, and just tidbits of information you may not have known. So let's go ahead and get started with number 1. First up on our list today is going to be that you should be bolting inventory items to your ship. Now what do I mean by this? Now I'm not saying you need to bolt every single thing you can possibly think of. I'm saying in order to save yourself some inventory space, especially on longer journeys, it is extremely useful to bolt inventory items to your ship. This can include tools, weapons, ammunition for usable items like cable tools, all sorts of different things. You could bolt an extra pickaxe on there if you want. Whatever you can think of, if it's something that's an inventory only item, then you can still bolt it to your ship and take it with you. 99 out of 100 times this won't mess up the integrity on your ship either. Just keep in mind that usually you won't be able to go through a warp gate with them. Second up on the list today is going to be that you should always make sure you have a cabling and piping tool. This is super important because if you hit a meteor outside the safe zone and you happen to break a single cable or any pipe, a lot of times it can result in you no longer being able to use your ship. More often than not, simply having a cabling and piping tool will solve 99% of your problems when you're out there and make it so you can at least get your ship back to a safe place in order to fix it. This is why I always recommend you bring it, and if you want to add tip number 1 in here, you can even just bolt one to your roof. That way you always have one with you no matter what. As a little bit of a tidbit to add on here, I do want to point out that you guys should always make sure to have full ammo for your weapons and your tools. There's been plenty of times on larger ships where I've hit an asteroid and then I have to fix a ton of cables and pipes and just run out of ammunition for them. If that happens, there was no point in bringing them in the first place, and you're gonna end up being stuck out there in the middle of nowhere. This is why I always tell people double check your ammo on all your tools and weapons before you leave the safe zone. Alrighty, so number 3 on our list today is going to be how to use your durability tool. This is very simple in case you don't know, but it is also vitally important. What you're going to do is you're going to look somewhere at your ship relatively close to it, hit the U button in order to pull up your universal tool. Once you've done that, you're going to go over to the far left tab in the window that pops up. You can do this by hitting tab on your keyboard and then moving the mouse over there. And you're going to want to select this second box on the top right. It's a little tiny thing. When you click on it, it's going to make your whole ship turn green, or in some cases red. And what you're going to want to do is fly around your ship and look for these little tiny red boxes, or just look for red colored structures. This could be a box on your ship. This could be a beam, a pipe. It could be literally anything. If it is red, that is what is causing your durability error. That usually means that you're either going to have to fix the cabling or piping, or it's usually more often than not going to just be a simple additional couple bolts. You'll notice this a lot on custom builds if you didn't do the weight distribution properly when you were creating your ship, as when you put ore in it, it adjusts the weight and you usually need more bolts to compensate for that. Number 4 is a very quick one for you guys, which is to just simply know that Tengium is found on the moon. I've been asked this question like a million times, and the answer is if you're looking for Tengium, it is currently found only on the moon's surfaces. So if you need it, that's where it's at. Coming in at number 5 is probably one of, if not the most useful tip in this entire video, which is to simply use the wiki. It tells you so much information about so many different things. If you have a question as to what materials something costs, or where do I get a material, how do I do this, how do I test this, how do I make sure this is working in the build editor, how do I know what I need to make my ship work, go to the wiki, type in Starbase Wiki and go to that site, and you're gonna be able to get yourself all the information you're gonna need. Now, yes, it doesn't cover every single thing, but 98% of questions you have will probably be answered on the wiki. Next up on our list is that hardpoints get bolted to the frame and require a minimum of 4 bolts. Now this is something I ran into in the build editor that I wasted probably 20 to 30 hours trying to figure out why my thrusters weren't working, and it was never explained to me in any of the videos I watched, nor was this explained on the wiki in particular. And all this means is that you have to bolt a minimum of 4 bolts into a hardpoint that connect it into a beam in order for a hardpoint to work. That is it. It's very simple, and it has to come from the blue square side of it. You can see it in the video here. Just make sure you guys know 4 bolts. If your thrusters aren't firing 9 out of 10 times, there's a good chance it's either that or your cabling that's going to be the issue. Here we are with number 7 on our list, which is a very simple tip. All you need to do for this one is to right click to move ore into your station storage. I didn't know this was a thing for like my first 50-60 hours of gameplay, and it saves you so much pain and stress from trying to drag over all those stinking ores. Now do keep in mind this cannot move partial stacks, which is a pain, but don't worry, we have a tip to help you with that one too coming up here in just a second. Just know that you can move all of your ore over very easy by simply right clicking it and clicking the move all ore button over. This is super easy and it's going to save you a ton of time. Alrighty, we're almost there now with number 8, which is to delete ores you don't want in your ship inventory. This is mostly geared towards mining laser ships, as you're going to be getting a ton of ores you probably don't want when using mining lasers. So what you can do is connect yourself to your resource bridge, and then now that they've added the delete feature, rather than going out and dropping all your items into space, you can actually just right click right there in your seat, right click the item, delete, and then continue on your way. You can even do this while traveling from asteroid to asteroid, or you can just do it while your mining lasers are actually mining. Okay, so last but not least is number 9, which is to double click ores in order to move them over. It took me 162 hours to find out that this was a thing. I just wanted to let you guys all know that if you have those partial stacks, this is how you can move them over very quickly. All you need to do is double click them to move them over. Or if you just don't want to use the right click tool for some reason, just know you can move items from your station to your ship, or to your personal inventory to your station, or vice versa, all by simply double clicking. It is one of the most useful tools and tips that I have ever found, and it took me 162 hours to find out that this was a thing. So don't be like me, and do start double clicking your partial stacks of ores. Now before you all go, I wanted to give a quick thank you for all of you guys that watched this video. It is only because of you guys that these videos happen. If you did enjoy it, do feel free to leave a like down below, or subscribe if you want to see more Starbase content or other survival games, as we make content on multiple different gaming topics, usually revolving around the survival genre. Now if you did want to support our channel in an additional way, you can do so down at the membership program that we have, which is found underneath this video in the bottom right corner. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I am Game Advisor, and I am so appreciative to all of you, and I'll see you next time.